content of this program is to provide nutritional education only. This program is not meant to take the place of your primary care physician. The FDA requires us to let you know that our products are not meant to treat, prevent, diagnose, or cure any diseases. As an empowered individual, you have options available. We are honored to have one of the founding fathers of epigenetics here to guide us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach. Welcome to Daily with Doc and Becca. Open the doors. Let me make sure that we are recording
in progress.
Hello, everybody. Hope you are having an absolutely fabulously just right day. My name is Becca Dukes, and welcome to Daily with Doc. Now, as the co-host, I'm not the co-host. As the hostess of this program, it is my privilege and honor to be able to bring information to you that is empowering. And I could not do this without my co-hosts. So I just want to do a special little shout out to them as part of my team in making sure that the information that we bring to you today is streamed properly out to YouTube, out to Rumble, out to Facebook Messenger. So if you are on any of those platforms, plus we've got some others that we're working on as well, I want to know, what is your favorite platform? So if you're on live with us, or if you're out in the rest of the internet somewhere, put a comment on this video and let me know what is your favorite way to watch information, to watch videos like this. I want to get some collective input so that we can make sure that we're meeting people where they're at and making sure that the information that we're providing is actually being received in a way that they can then share it with those in their community as well. So with that being said, again, thank you so much for joining us here on Daily with Doc. We have so many people that are sending in emails and messages that we are getting to those in the order that they are received. There's a couple of them that I have in process. I'm getting information together that I'm bouncing off Dr. Wallach just to make sure that the information that we are sharing with all of you is exactly what Dr. Wallach would recommend for you as well. I feel very honored, but it's a big job. It's a big job to be able to communicate with Dr. Wallach each and every day and making sure that this message is available and that it's being portrayed in exactly the way Dr. Wallach's research has proven it to work. So for those of you who are waiting for responses, thank you so much for your patience. If you are wanting to ask questions and you're here live with us, feel free to use that virtual hand on Zoom in Zoom. If you're out in YouTube land or Rumble or Facebook, come join us here in the live Zoom. Go to DailywithDocZoom.com. That's DailywithDocZoom.com. You can also find that information on our website, DailywithDoc.com, right there at the top. And you can sign up for our newsletter. With our newsletter, we're not going to flood your email with a whole bunch of things. Right now, we're just doing 1 or 2 or 3 emails a week sharing information. But the most important one is coming out on Tuesdays, Mondays or Tuesdays. And that is the recordings and the descriptions of the previous week's programming so that you have that easily available to be able to share with other people. Now, DailywithDoc.com is a website that myself and my team utilize. If you were shared this program by somebody specific, make sure that you get back with them and thank them for sharing this information with you, because they took the time and they cared enough to make sure that you had just something that you could actually put into practice in your lives that would help you write a better health journey, no matter where you are on that journey. When you give your body the raw ingredients that it needs and take it out of that starvation mode, the body can do some amazing things. Now, the FDA does require us to let you know that the content of this program is to provide nutritional education only. This program is not meant to take the place of your primary care physician. And our products are not meant to treat, prevent, diagnose, or cure any diseases. But folks, as empowered individuals, we do have options. And those options that we are providing with you today are solutions that many of us had found to be the only solution that helped in our health journey. Now, we are guided, and we are actually very honored to be able to have one of the founding fathers of the science of epigenetics here to guide us. And as becoming one of the founding fathers of this science, it was decades of research, folks, decades of research, over 100 publications now, even peer-reviewed publications that are easily found on his research. And you don't have to go to the Smithsonian Museum to see a national treasure that he was very, very much involved in, because it was his thesis in college, diseases of exotic animals. Well, I'm an exotic animal. You're an exotic animal. We were divinely created, and his research goes through and does that comparative pathology in comparing what's present nutrient-wise and what's not present when disease occurs. So Dr. Joel Wallach, welcome to Daily with Doc. Thank you so much for joining us here today.
Well, thank you so much, Becca, and your team. A great introduction. Appreciate that. And of course, it's a very, very exciting thing to talk about. You know, the research is in the Smithsonian Institute as a national treasure. That's a very highly unusual thing. So very proud of that. But it is very unique because it came from autopsies of over 454 species of animals plus humans. And so it's not just an isolated thing. So today I want to talk about something that's universal, okay? With all vertebrates, regardless if you're an amphibian, a reptile, a bird, or a mammal, okay? It doesn't matter. We all have a heart, okay? Now your heart is a very interesting organ. It beats, on the average, you know, say 50 to 70 times, depending on your body weight and what else is going on, between 50 and 70 times a minute, 24/7 for your entire life. For your entire life. It never stops beating. If it stops beating, you die. Just think about it. Your heart is working 24/7 for every day of your life. Now, that's a remarkable thing when you think about it. And so I want to talk about circulation. There's two pieces to the circulation outside the heart. Number one are arteries, which the heart pumps the blood throughout the body. And the arteries get smaller and smaller the farther distance from the heart to keep the pressure up. And so the little arteries go into the heart itself. The little arteries go into the eyes. The little artery goes into your tongue. The little arteries go into your lungs. Your little arteries go into your liver. Your little arteries go into your kidneys, your muscles, your bones, your skin, all over the place, okay? And then the veins start out as tiny little capillaries, and they get bigger and bigger and bigger as they get closer to the heart and bring back the blood that has reduced oxygen and food levels in it, okay, and comes back to the heart so the heart can pump it through the lungs and get oxygen in it, okay? And of course, the intestinal tract is connected through the veins to put nutrients and fluid into the veins, which then go back to the heart, which then gets pumped out to the rest of the body. You just think about it. That heart is working 24/7 for every day of your life. 50 years, 60 years, 70 years, 80 years, 90 years, 100 years, 120 years, 150 years. It goes 24/7. It's an amazing thing. So we got to take care of the heart, the arteries, and the veins. Now, these little arteries, they go into your brain, they go into your eyes. In fact, when you get osteoporosis of the skull, and the skull is squeezing the optic nerve and the optic artery and the optic vein, you get macular degeneration. The macula is kind of the back part of the eye, the inner lining of the eye, the retina of the eye, where the optic nerve comes into the back of the eye. It has a high level of blood vessels, high level of nerves and everything. But when the skull is squeezing the optic nerve and the optic artery and the optic vein, that macula dies. It's called macular degeneration. Then doctors want to do surgery and they want to give you new glasses and all that kind of stuff. And really, you need to be dealing with the skull. Okay. And so then, of course, when you have, let's say, problems with high blood pressure and kidneys, and you're on dialysis, well, that's because the arteries are blocked in the kidneys. And you're not getting these proper circulation into the little glomeruli, which filter the blood. Okay, get the dirty stuff out of the blood and put it into the urine so you can pee it out. All right. And then the veins, of course, again, bring the cleaned out blood from the kidneys all the way back up to the lungs and the heart. And that's that cycle. And so, and then of course you have to worry about what you eat. Your doctors made a mistake 100 years ago. It's going on maybe 200 years now. Okay. Yeah, I'd say it's a little over 100 years, maybe 150 years. Doctors blame plaque in the arteries, because you can see this in the microscope when you take make a slide out of an artery that was plugged. You can see that the walls of the artery were thickened with a fatty substance. And they said, this is cholesterol. And they blamed cholesterol on plugging of the artery. So you got to stop eating eggs, stop eating animal fat, and take these drugs we've come out with. The pharmaceutical industry came up with these drugs to lower your blood cholesterol. Okay. And it's one of those things where they made a huge mistake. Okay. They've killed, I'd say, millions of people. Okay. By getting them off of gluten. Okay. They've killed millions of people by getting them off of gluten, because gluten makes
wait. So they killed millions of people getting them off of cholesterol, though, right?
I'm sorry. Gluten. Thank you. Cholesterol. Thank you. Cholesterol.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for correcting me. Yeah, cholesterol. Yeah, they got everybody off of the cholesterol. Okay. But they should have kept them on more cholesterol and no gluten. Gluten was the problem. Okay. Gluten, of course, was forced on people when doctors would say, the reason why you're constipated is you don't eat enough grain. You need to eat more whole grain, eat more whole grain, eat more whole grain, eat more wheat brought around oats, eat more wheat brought around oats. And to take a little break, have some buckwheat pancakes and buckwheat cereal for breakfast and so forth. And of course, all these grains, wheat brought around oats, have gluten in them, the bad guys, gluten. And it causes all those villi in your intestine to go away. The villi, the little finger-like projections that make the lining of your intestine look like a shag rug. When that shag rug villi go away because you're eating gluten, okay, your intestines look like a plastic tube. You lose 98% of your absorptive surface, and then you're really in trouble. Okay? And it's one of those things where you got to pay attention here. You must eat eggs. And of course, we have an I-26. It says right on the label, provides 25% of your daily, one dose provides 25% of your daily requirement of cholesterol. Oh, my doctor says I have to take my cholesterol lowering drugs. Okay. No, you don't want to take cholesterol lowering drugs. You want to take the I-26. You want to eat 3 eggs twice a day with soft yolks, not hard boiled, not fried. And people with plugged arteries, we take people who have really big trouble. They have not urinated in 10 years. Okay, now they've been in trouble for 25 years. They've been on dialysis maybe 3 days a week for say 10, 15 years. And then the last 10 years, they've been on dialysis 6 days a week because they haven't urinated at all in the last 10 years. We get them going on a healthy brain and heart pack. We get them going on the, let's see here. We get them going on the healthy brain and heart pack. We get them on the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets, the 3 of those twice a day, all the 3 words, Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. And that supports healthy blood flow through blocked arteries, supports healthy blood pressure. And suddenly now, after 10 years of not urinating, they're urinating. And so they drop the dialysis down from 6 days a week down to 3 days a week. And then in 2 more weeks, they're totally off of dialysis and they're going back to normal because suddenly now the arteries in the kidneys are working properly and bringing the dirty blood through the arteries into the kidneys. The kidneys are filtering it, okay? And then in the glomeruli, and then the filtered blood comes back up to the heart and the lungs through the veins, okay? That's how the cycle works. And so this is not a mystery, but it's one of those sad, sad, sad things where the medical profession has not corrected this in over 100 years. It's pushing 200 years, has not corrected their mistake that they made many years ago because they make so much money, okay, under the circumstances. Of course, the pharmaceutical companies love the cholesterol-lowering drugs, okay? This is where the pharmaceutical companies really made it when the doctor said, you know, you got to lower your cholesterol. And they came up with these cholesterol-lowering drugs. And this is what financed the entire medical industry, okay? And so doctors didn't want to say, we don't know what's going on here. We just need to lower, we just need to lower your blood pressure. We need to make sure you're urinating. We're going to give you dialysis, or we're going to give you drugs to dilate your arteries and all this kind of stuff. But it didn't solve the problem. And the problem keeps getting worse and worse and worse and worse because people kept eating the bad stuff, which was the fried foods. No fried foods, no fried fish, no fried chicken, no fried potatoes, no fried vegetables, no stir-fried anything, nothing fried, okay? Because when you eat fried foods, that the fat turns into trans fats, heterocyclic and acrylamides, which cause major damage to the walls of your arteries, and that's what caused the arteries to be plugged, okay? Was this inflammation caused by eating the oils and the fried foods, and people continue today to pay the price. People who eat those foods pay the price. Now, if you get rid of all those foods or bad foods, you save a lot of money, and you'll actually make money, okay, by getting on our programs, because now you're saving a lot of money by getting rid of all the bad foods that are expensive, and you can use some of that money to buy your longevity products and get on the right programs to support your kidneys, support your lungs, support your heart, support your brain, support your liver, support your lungs, support your muscles, support your arteries, support your veins, support your nerves, support your cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, discs between the vertebrae, bones, all your glands, including, your sex glands and so forth, your eyes, your ears, all that requires these nutrients. Just think of your heart beating, 50 to 70 times a minute for 100 years, 24/7. Your heart needs some support. It needs blood flow. You have to keep those little coronary arteries open. Okay, and that's why we come up with the products we have. Okay, with all that said, I'm going to turn it over to you, Becca.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Wallach. Now, for those of you who exercise and are out doing physical, of course, your heartbeat's going to be above 70. I know whenever I'm doing my running, Dr. Wallach, and depending on which exercise I do, I get up to like 150 even. So making sure that I have my 90 essential nutrients, my essential fatty acids, which help keep I'm getting to that, keep my blood clean, my Ultimate Daily Classic to keep that circulation flowing. And then especially because I'm working out and I'm sweating, I do the rebound also, like Dr. Wallach is holding up. And yes, I prefer the powders. They do have less sugar and they have more nutrients in them. And it's easy just to take a couple scoops, put it in my water and go. I don't have to worry about it shaking, Dr. Wallach, or when I try to open it, it explodes because I can't always open it the day before and then have it to travel. So with that being said, Dr. Wallach, you had mentioned, the blood going out of the heart being oxygenated, and then as it goes through all of the veins and arteries and capillaries, and then going back. So you've got the outgoing, and then you have the return, and the return has less oxygen in it.
That's
So
correct.
if you
There's less oxygen, less nutrients, less of everything, because your body's been sucking all the goodies out, okay, along the trail, okay, from the heart to wherever it's going, to the lungs and the heart and the brain and the liver and the kidneys and the muscles and the bones. But the return blood is low in everything. It's low in nutrients and low in oxygen, low in fluid. So it's a little thicker. The venous blood is thicker than arterial blood, doesn't have the oxygen levels, doesn't have the food levels. And so you can tell just by doing an analysis of a blood sample whether it came from a vein or an artery.
So with that being said, Dr. Wallach, if there isn't a lot of oxygen and there isn't a lot of nutrients in the blood as it's leaving the heart, that's even less coming back.
That's correct. That's why people die. When you have more carbon dioxide, no food, you die. Your heart dies, your liver dies, your lungs die, your brain dies.
And that's something that you found in some of your studies referring to the kidneys, that the kidneys were losing circulation. There was really nothing wrong with the kidney itself other than the blood wasn't flowing through it.
Yeah, the arteries were plugged. And
so we want to make sure that we
doctors
keep
wanted to do kidney transplants, but see, they were getting the wrong information. They were getting incomplete information, just like saying, oh, the arteries are plugged because people are eating cholesterol. No.
Well, it does have to do with the bad foods, but it's also not getting the nutrients that the body needs in order to have function at its optimal best, right?
That is correct. You get an
Well,
A+.
Go ahead.
You get an A+, that's correct.
Oh, I'll take it. Well, Dr. Wallach, we have a few hands up with us, and then we also have people that are putting comments in the YouTube chat. For some reason, I'm not seeing Rumble today, but let's go ahead and answer some questions, Dr. Wallach. First, let's go to Mike. Mike, go ahead and unmute yourself if you would, please.
Okay, I unmuted.
I can hear you too. How are you today? What can we do for you?
Well, I've been on, I have a enlarged prostate, and I've been on medicine since 2015. And just this month, I had a problem where I couldn't urinate. So I'm in Florida. My doctor's in Maryland. He said, you're going to have to go to the emergency room, and they put a catheter in. And the next day I saw a urologist down here. They took the catheter out the following day. Then I was back in the emergency room the following week. So far they've done a cystostomy, they've done a CAT scan, and they won't do a MRI till the 12th. My doctor in Maryland, he's looked at everything. He just thinks it's enlarged. And so I'm calling I've listened to you guys on the radio at night a lot of times, and I'm just trying to learn.
Okay, well, let's look at the prostate. Okay, it has many functions, and one of the things you have to appreciate. And let me ask you a question: before you had a blocked urinary system, how many times are you waking up at night to urinate? Once, 3 times, 5 times, 10?
Once probably. Unless something was weird, sometimes it'd be twice, but usually just once.
Okay, how many times you urinate during the day? Is it frequent during the day?
Yes.
10 times during the day, like once every couple of hours?
Yes.
Okay, all right. And so Let's see here. Do you have any tinnitus or ringing in your ears?
No,
Okay. Do you have any balance problems? Any issues
No.
with that balance or?
no, no,
Okay. Let's see here. Do you have anything going on with swallowing, voice changes, loss of sense of taste, anything like that?
no.
Okay. Do you have anything going on with your fingers or toes?
Mm, well, my fingers, when I'm sleeping, sometimes they'll sort of fall asleep if I got them in the wrong direction.
Mm-hmm.
Not
Okay.
not my toes, but my fingers.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you have anything going on? Let's see here. You say your prostate's enlarged. Do they determine this with a scan?
Yeah, with the CAT scan. Well, I've always had one, but at this time it's way up there. Like,
Mhm. Okay. Yeah, and it could be just a simple deficiency, okay, of nutrients causing that. Okay. And so they don't seem too concerned about wanting to get a biopsy, anything like that.
yes, yes, they want to do a biopsy, but they won't do it until I get the MRI on Wednesday. So
Mhm,
I'm not in Maryland. I'm in Florida, and I'm with new doctors that
mhm. Okay.
they're
Okay.
from the Cleveland Clinic.
Okay. Well, keep us informed on that. But basically, you could have osteoporosis of the skull, squeezing the spinal cord, and the spinal cord is squeezing the nerves during the day and the evening, and that's why you're urinating so much during the day, because your spinal cord is being squeezed by the skull, and the skull is telling your spinal cord is telling your urinary bladder to urinate during the day, okay, because your position and so forth, your vertical and so on. But women get the same problem. This is not only in men, but women don't have a prostate gland, so you can't blame it on the prostate gland. You can have, and you have some white, gray, and silver hair. All right. This is not due to aging. This is due to a nutritional deficiency. That same nutritional deficiency can cause problems with connective tissue in the walls of arteries and veins and your urinary tubes and also in the tubes inside the prostate gland and so forth. Your hair color, we can get your hair color to come back in months. Okay. That's very easy. Okay. You just have to take the proper nutrients. How much do you weigh, sir?
197.
Okay. All right. And no high blood pressure, no diabetes, none of that kind of stuff.
Well, at one point they told me I had diabetes, but I corrected it on my own by changing my diet and riding my bicycle. And I check my blood sugar almost every day, and it's between 85 and 90.
Good. Okay. So,
I don't take any medicine for diabetes,
okay, good.
but I take a blood pressure pill because he won't let me off of it. But
Sure. Okay, I understand. Okay, so we need you to get rid of all the bad foods. I want you to get my book, Dr. Wallach's Cooking Without the Bad Foods. There's 300 pages of safe recipes and also safe cooking methods. Then I want you to get to 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. There's 1 per 100 pounds of body weight. You're close enough to 200 pounds. I only weigh 142, and I take 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. I take a full dose of breakfast, full dose of dinner time. And it has the core of the 90 essential nutrients. And then by getting rid of the bad foods, the fried foods and the processed meats and the oils and the glutens and the wheat and the barley rye oats and the buckwheat and the sugar and the carbonated drinks, including carbonated water, you'll save enough money to pay for the supplements. So it won't be a burden to buy the supplements, because you're going to be saving a lot of money by getting rid of the bad foods. And then I also want you, in addition to the 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month, I want you to take 2 bottles a month of our MSM. So you can take 3 of those at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. They're going to support and promote maintenance repair, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, discs between the vertebrae, bone makes bone itself, including the making of white blood cells in your bone marrow and your red blood cells and platelets and all that kind of stuff. The MSM will help you do that. I want you to take our collagen peptides, get 2 of the little canisters of collagen peptides. So you can take a scoop of that with your morning drinks or with your evening drink. I want you to use our Rebound or sports drink. It comes in the sticks. 30 sticks in a box. Each stick has 100 nutrients in it. We do have the little canisters, which we showed you just a few moments ago. Okay, the canisters has 36 servings, and there's a little scoop. You put 1 scoop of this powder into a bottle of water, and you get your 100 nutrients. We do have the cans. 12-ounce cans. There's 12 cans in a case, but the cans do have carbonation in them. So I like to pop the tops on 2 of them every night before I go to bed, put them in the refrigerator so they'll be flat in the morning. All the bubbly is gone by morning. So I'll have one with breakfast and one with lunch, never later than 2 or 3 in the afternoon. I don't want to be staying up all night. But each serving of the okay,
The rebound?
of the rebound, thank you. So each serving of the rebound has 100 nutrients in it. Okay, and the Healthy Brain Heart Pack has 215 nutrients in it. You'll know you're absorbing when your hair color starts coming back. Okay, usually within 2 or 3 weeks after you're starting it, if you've given up all the bad foods and you're on good recipes and staying away from the bad stuff so you can absorb the good stuff, your hair color will start coming back in 2 to 3 weeks. Usually takes about anywhere from 2 to 3 months for it to completely, grow out properly, the same color it was when you were a teenager. We have people who are bald like a bowling ball for 40 years, and in 3 months' time, they had all their hair back at the hair color they were when they were 12. Okay, this is very simple stuff. Okay, and of course, the doctors are frustrated with this because once you know that you can prevent and reverse all these problems with nutrition, you don't need drugs to deal with the symptoms because the symptoms are gone. When you solve the problem, the symptoms are gone. But the medical treatment tends to be drugs that treat the symptoms as opposed to getting rid of the problem. Okay, so we come at this from 2 different directions. So, keep in touch with us. Just remember, the book goes into the history of going from wood and coal as fuel for thousands and thousands and thousands of years of electricity. Plants only need 3 minerals. We need 60. Hell's Kitchen tells you what's happened to humanity since we went to electricity. There's no ashes associated with in your house with generating or using electricity for heat and cooking and that kind of stuff, air conditioning. Okay. And so once we went to electricity and we went to hydroelectric and damming up all the rivers, so there was no more bottom land, suddenly now we're in trouble. And doctors said, oh, this is all genetic stuff, all autoimmune stuff. Just eat well, you get everything you need, and come to me and I'll give you a drug that'll relieve your symptoms. Okay. And so get that book, Hell's Kitchen, get the book, It's All in Your Head, get the book, The Wallach Revolution, and the information will add 25 to 50 healthy years to your life. You'll save enough money by getting rid of all the bad foods to pay for the supplements. In fact, you'll actually be on the positive side. You'll actually save enough money by getting rid of all the bad foods. And all the gasoline you spend on your trips to the doctors and the pharmacy and clinics and all that kind of stuff. Okay. And so do keep in touch with us.
Now,
Okay.
will somebody get in touch with me with all this? Did I read that?
So
Becca?
Mike,
Yes.
yeah. So Mike, what you can do is you can go to YouTube, you can find a replay of this program and be able to re-listen to it and write it down. If you are working with a longevity associate already, get back with them in order to get your products on their way to you, okay?
Okay, so I can go to YouTube and find this recording.
Yes, you can find all the recordings from our programming on our Critical Health News channel on YouTube or on Rumble or on Facebook. We are just Critical Health.
Okay, well, I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Okay, keep
You're
in
very
touch.
welcome.
I will stay.
All right, thank you so much, Mike. And Dr. Wallach, let's just move right over to Mima. Mima, go ahead and unmute yourself. I wanted to be Mima.
Well, that was my grandchildren. My name's Leah, and they named my phone as Mima's phone. So thank you very much. I enjoy watching the program. I do have a couple questions. Epstein-Barr virus, I have that. It's actively replicating in my system. And I wanted to know if there's a way that I can kill it and get it out of my system, or is it something that just goes in remission?
Are you taking antibiotics already?
I just got started with a health coach, and I'm hoping that I have some products going to be at my house when I get home today.
Okay, yeah, you need the 90 essential nutrients to support your immune system.
I got
And then
that.
to put the gun to the virus's head and kill it, we have colloidal silver. It's been used for thousands and thousands and thousands of years safely. Put a dropper full under the left side of your tongue, a dropper full under your right side of your tongue 4 times a day. When you wake up in
Okay.
the morning, about 10 minutes before each meal, and you can even do it again before bedtime. I do that, and I don't have a problem. I probably don't have a problem because I've been doing this for, I don't know, 20 years.
Okay. Did I-
Okay,
All right.
but this you don't need doctor permission for. Okay.
Thank you. Now, may I ask you a couple questions about livestock?
Livestock.
Go for it.
Little bit different. Is there a way to prevent pink eye in cattle?
Yeah. Cut their eyes out.
Okay.
Dr. Wallach, that
if
is not
they're-
a solution.
Well, no,
That is not a
if they're
solution.
exposed, if they're exposed to the bug, they're going to get pink eye. Okay, so it just depends on, if you're visiting somebody's farm and they have pink eye in their livestock, and you go home and you hug your dairy cow, then you're going to give her pink eye. Okay, it's one of those things. Okay.
Okay, so it's not a mineral deficiency or something that allows them to
Well, the pink eye,
get
I'm familiar with is a virus. You can also have,
Yes.
you can also
Yes.
have, some vitamin A deficiencies. Okay, but if they're eating hay, which is green, they have beta carotene in there, they're going to get plenty of vitamin A. So that's not the issue.
Okay. My second livestock question is about sheep. I'd like to know if there's a natural way to prevent worms and parasites in sheep, since they get that so badly.
Okay, well, again, it comes down to contamination on your shoes, manure from somebody else's farm, somebody delivering hay to you, and they've got the manure on their feet and so forth. And so what you need to do is have a one of these, 4-inch high trays, in front of your barns, in front of your house, in front of your gates going out into the pastures, and anybody coming, and you're going to have, disinfectant in there. Okay. And people have to stand in a 1/2 inch of that disinfectant for their boots and their shoes and so forth for about 1 minute. You just can't step through it. Okay. No, you got to be in it for 1 minute and kill any parasites and kill viruses and bacteria and fungus and yeast.
Thank you very much.
You bet. It's cheaper than a veterinarian coming out constantly.
All right. Thank you so very much for joining us today. And Dr. Wallach, so I'm a little bit familiar with cattle and pink eye, and taking the colloidal silver that you recommended and putting a little spray, a fine mist on the top of that bottle instead of doing the droppers. Then as you're out in the herd, which I know some herds are a little more wild than others, they come right up to me, they let me pet them. Just do quick little sprays in the eyes whenever you're out there. You're not touching, you're not doing any type of cross contamination. You don't have to get them to hold still while you do the droppers, but that little fine mist sprayer, you can get close enough, do it quickly. They don't even know. And it does amazing stuff on pink eye, whether it's in livestock or in humans, Dr. Wallach, because I've used it.
Well, there you go.
Without fail. So yes, colloidal silver, folks, you're gonna have to drink quarts of it if you want to turn blue. But for regular use, like Dr. Wallach recommends, even daily use, just a dropper on each side of the mouth a couple times a day, you are not gonna turn blue. And it actually gives the body that extra little boost to be able to work through the things that we're exposed to.
Yes, we've been doing this, all through this pandemic, and we see so many people, they come from all over the world and they run up and hug you and shake your hands, and who knows what airplanes they were on with who had the bug and this, that, and the other. And we've been blessed with our team being very healthy all through this because we use the colloidal silver faithfully. And like you say, oh, you're going to turn blue. Well, you're going to have to eat a lot of quarters.
Your silver quarters, Dr. Wallach. It's not just any quarter, because now they've got like copper fillings and all mixed metals and craziness. Well, let's go ahead and go to the next hand that is up, Dr. Wallach.
Okay.
Actually, I want a quick little question here. In our YouTube chat. So Corey says, I have a bad ankle. I'm on blood thinners because of a blood clot and pulmonary embolism. The ankle was broken or is broken, and it caused damage in the left leg. What, Dr. Wallach, would you recommend for somebody based on 100 pounds who has experienced a blood clot, pulmonary embolism, broken bones, and they're currently on a blood thinner?
Okay, well, at 100 pounds, there's either a young person or, a lady usually.
Excuse me. He is 6 foot tall and he weighs 257 pounds.
Well, there's a difference.
You're welcome.
257, 6 foot tall. Did you say
57 years old, 200 pounds at
Mhm.
6 foot.
Okay.
No. It's 6 foot tall, 257 pounds.
I see it
Sorry, I
now.
had muted myself.
Thank you, Ruth Ellen.
You're welcome.
Okay. Yeah. And so they need a lot of nutrition when you're 277 pounds. Okay.
57, 57.
I don't know why I keep getting 77. Okay. Okay, 257. All right. Now this person needs to get rid of all the bad foods. They need to get a hold of that book, Dr. Wallach's Cooking About the Bad Foods, for 300 pages of safe recipes and safe cooking methods. Absolutely none of the bad foods. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no brown rind oats, no buckwheat, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the diet one's got to go, and carbonated water needs to go. And 257, I would go. I mean, they have all this stuff going on, especially with blood clots, okay, that can cause stroke and that kind of stuff. Then fractures. There's a lot going on in this person, okay? So they need to, again, the 2 Healthy Brain and Heart Packs, 2 bottles a month of the Ultimate Daily Classic Tablets for circulation. Take 3 of those 3 times a day, Ultimate Daily Classic Tablets. Again, let's see here. I'm going to have 2 bottles a month of the MSM, so I can take 3 of those 3 times a day. Rebuild cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between a vertebrae, bone makes one itself. And in the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, it has 3 EFAs and 3 EFA pluses. And since I'm taking 2 doses a day of everything, okay, I'm getting 3 EFAs twice a day and 3 EFA pluses twice a day. And I weigh 142, and that will prevent blood clots, okay, because blood clots are a deficiency of the essential fatty acids. Very important here, okay. The fractures, okay, we need to throw in the extra ultimate. And see here, we also throw in the collagen peptides, a scoop of that with a morning drink, scoop with the evening drink. That'll be 2 of the small canisters of the collagen peptide powder. And then also the OsteoFX, I would take 1 ounce of that twice a day. At 257 pounds, I would take 1 ounce of the OsteoFX twice a day. And I would get our, if they have a garden, okay, I would get our Bloomin' Minerals and use our Bloomin' Minerals in the garden so that the vegetables that they're growing will have more minerals in it. So everything they put in their mouth should have more minerals. Okay, very important. Okay, use our Bloomin' Minerals in their gardens and around their cherry trees and cherry pie and all that kind of stuff. Okay, and don't forget gluten-free pizza. I had 3 poached eggs this morning and a nice wedge of gluten-free pizza. Okay, with all these vegetables on top of it. Along with yogurt and berries and all my supplements and everything, including my Rebound and so forth. It's an amazing thing when you take all this stuff. I'm getting 100 nutrients 4 to 6 times a day, depending on what's going on. I'm taking 100 nutrients 4 to 6 times a day, and in a couple of months I'll be 84 years old, and most people think I'm in my 50s or early 60s when they look at me. They can't believe that I'm 84. Okay, this is simple stuff, but I've been taking this stuff. I've been taking large doses of these nutrients since I was 9 years old. Okay, I was taking the same stuff that were given to 200-pound, 400-pound calves, and people say, "Oh, you're just eating alfalfa." No, I was eating the alfalfa pellets that were enriched with vitamins and minerals. There's vitamins and minerals that were in the alfalfa that I was getting the nutrients from. Okay, and so that was the important thing. And of course, with that knowledge, we were able to get rid of things like let's see here. Oh, cystic fibrosis. I'm the guy that found the cause, prevention, and cure of cystic fibrosis, thought to be a genetic birth defect. I'm the guy working with Jerry Lewis. I'm the guy who found the cause, prevention, and cure of muscular dystrophy. Gave it to Jerry Lewis. He took it to the Muscular Dystrophy Association. They fired Jerry Lewis summarily on, let's see, it was September 4th, 2011. They fired him, put a gag order on him so he couldn't say anything, and canceled his telethon the next day. And his telethon over 46 years had raised $2.6 billion. And they summarily terminated him because he brought them the cure. Well, he died a couple of years later, but he knew in his heart we had been successful, because I had talked to him many, many times after they put the gag order on him. But he couldn't say anything, but I could share stuff with him. And I could hear him smiling on the other end of the phone, because he knew we had found the cause, prevention, cure of muscular dystrophy. We also found the cause and prevention of sudden death syndrome. Doctors were saying for years and years and years and years and years and years that sudden death syndrome was caused by mothers laying on the babies and suffocating them. I had to get my attorney, Jonathan Nemord, and I, we sued the FDA 8 times in federal court on that one subject. Got these nutrients put into baby formulas, Enfamil and Similac and the like. We prevailed in all areas. We got the nutrients put in the baby formulas, and within 90 days after that happened, those 3 diseases just disappeared. Those 3 things just disappeared. You don't hear about those 3 things anymore because we put the nutrients in the baby formulas, and so we're very proud that we're responsible for that.
It's amazing, Dr. Wallach, what happens whenever you give the body the nourishment that it needs, because we weren't made from just sugar and bottled oils. I mean, we weren't made from those things. We've got to give the body back the things that it was made from, the things that create healthy cells. And as long as we're doing it intentionally, making sure that it's going into the body, being consistent on it, there's a lot of things that we can do in writing our own health journeys, Dr. Wallach.
Yeah, and of course, again, this was recognized, but by authorities in various organizations, and I did get let's see here. This is from the United Nations, 2015. This is the United Nations. Okay, this is the let's see here. I won the award. Okay, a Lifetime Achievement Award from the United Nations. They only give out 2 or 3 of those every couple of years or so. I was very proud of that. And then in 2011, I actually got the Klaus Schwartz Award for discovering the cause, prevention, and cure of cystic fibrosis. That's me with Gerhard Schrauzer receiving that award. Okay, 2011. Okay, very proud of that.
Yep, you've done a lot, Dr. Wallach, and that's why we're here today, is to be able to provide information to others in regards to the research that you have done, the research that you've been acknowledged for, but not in the way that it's reaching the masses at that time, and that's what we're doing today. Let's go ahead and go to one more hand, Dr. Wallach, before you have to go.
Yes.
And Ted, go ahead and unmute yourself if you would, please. You're on live with Dr. Wallach.
Hi, Dr. Wallach. Extreme pleasure. My honor to talk with you and have a chance to ask a question.
The kind words. How can we help you?
So I'm doing pretty well. I'm taking the 90 Essentials for many months now. I still have I'm struggling with blood pressure a little bit. It can spike kind of high. So I'm wondering.
Okay, how much do you weigh?
I weigh about 200 pounds.
Okay. Any other issues, back problems? How many times at night you wake up to urinate? 1, 3 times, 5 times, none?
2, 3 times.
2, 3 times?
When I
Okay,
stay well hydrated, I usually have tea late in the day, and
sure,
if I wake up, I'll have to urinate. But
sure.
I,
What about ringing in the ears? You have any tinnitus or ringing in the ears?
I think I might.
A little buzzing once in a while, anything like that?
Yeah.
Okay, what about anything like dizziness or balance problems? You have to use a walker
No.
or cane?
Nope.
Okay, no blood pressure, no diabetes?
No, I do have some blood pressure.
Okay, one last question. Let's see here. Do you ever have to, let's see here. Where do I want to go here? Do you ever get sleepy after a meal? Do you ever, eat a big meal, eat dinner time, and you're sitting there watching TV and you fall asleep, anything like that?
Yeah. No, no, sure.
Okay, that's called reactive hypoglycemia. Your body releases a lot of insulin, knocks your blood pressure down. Oh, excuse me, your blood sugar. You said you had a little blood pressure issue?
Right.
Yes, okay. So at 200 pounds, I want you to get rid of all the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, no wheat, brown, rye, and oats, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the diet one's got to go, and no carbonated water, no bubbly water. I do want you to take 2 of the Healthy Brain and Heart Packs a month, ramp up to the little higher numbers of nutrients, a full dose of everything twice a day. Staying away from the bad foods, you'll save enough money to pay for the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, 2 doses a day. I want you to get 2 bottles a month of the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets and take 3 of those breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I also want you to take the collagen peptides, take a scoop of that with your morning drinks or the evening drink. I want you to get 2 bottles a month of the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. 3 words, Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. And take 3 at breakfast, 3 at dinner time. If you're on medication for high blood pressure, don't cold turkey off of that. But as blood pressure comes down, you can slowly reduce medication based on the numbers. Usually within 2 to 6 weeks, your blood pressure will be down in the normal range. I also want you to get our Sweeties, get 2 bottles a month of our Sweeties. So you can take 3 twice a day. And that will prevent you from getting that hypoglycemia, because I don't want you to fall asleep when you're driving. Okay, if you eat a big dinner and you're driving, you get drowsy. That's why people cross the center line and kill themselves, kill somebody else. So when you have active hypoglycemia, we need you to get that Sweeties so we resolve that problem. Okay, 3 of those today.
We'll do. I
And
did have a question about.
Give us a call every couple of weeks, because your blood pressure is going to be good. Your reactive hypoglycemia is going to go away. That ringing in the ears is going to go away. Okay, and
Good, I'll do those additional things. Can I ask, how much does it matter to eliminate gluten? I've cut way back on my gluten, but it's really hard with my wife does the cooking, and she's still we still have some gluten.
Well, here's the deal. What if you only shoot yourself in the head once instead of 5 times?
Once is enough.
Yeah, once is enough. And so 2 meals a week of gluten, instead of you getting really serious problems within a year or 2, it might take you 3 to 4 years. Okay. It's just going to be a little bit slower, but you got to be 0 gluten. You can't say the word. If you say the word,
that's a challenge to get to 0 gluten. I'll work on it.
I understand, but you got to. Sometimes if you just leave it on the plate and don't eat it.
Yeah.
And your
I
wife,
do things like
what are you doing at
hamburger.
the stove here? See, I'm making some rice.
Yeah. I know, I've heard you say eat like an Asian, right?
Yeah, you want to eat like an Asian, and that's why, because
Southern Asian.
they live, okay, in the United States, depending on whose numbers you're looking at, our life expectancy is 73 to 75. You look at Japan, they're 84. They essentially live 10 years longer than we do. And then China is a great study. They have 2 populations. In the north, they live on wheat. In the south, they live on rice. The ones in the south live to be 75. The ones in the north live to be 71. Okay.
Yep.
So this is unimpeachable information. And so it's one of those things where you really have to watch it. You will be blessed with a longer, healthier life, spend more time with the people you love. Okay. And I apologize for I keep looking at the clock here. I got 2 more minutes.
And now your time is up, Doc.
Oh,
So
Thank you.
I've been given strict orders to make sure that you are not late for your next appointment. So I just want to thank you again for joining us here Monday through Friday from 12 to 12:50-ish on Daily with Doc. So thank you again, Dr. Wallach. You have a fabulous day and happy Easter. Happy Good Friday to everybody who takes the time to consider the day and the events that happened so many years ago on the day, not so much this specific day, but this is the day that we kind of observe it in the Christian faith. So happy Easter, everybody. Hope you all have a wonderful weekend. If I could get my co-hosts up with me, I just want to give a special shout out to Ruth Ellen Sanchez and Marilyn Pizzera. The two of them were working extra hard today as they were going through and making sure that the information was being shared in the chat, monitoring our YouTube and Facebook groups, sharing information to me so that if we got to it or we had time, we could get to it. But folks, if we did not get to your question, please use our website and contact us option and send in your questions. If you are working with a longevity associate already, or somebody referred you specifically to this program, please get back with them and say, thank you for sharing this information with me. How do I myself get on the products that they were talking about? And if somebody shared this program with you, it's possible that they may have their own special way of ordering. If nobody has ever shared this information with you, you found it on your own, and you have never tried any of the longevity products, we do have a shopping cart and store. We have a store with a shopping cart on DailywithDoc.com. But again, that's for people who are not currently working with somebody who are associated with longevity. Now, Ruth Ellen Sanchez, she does like extra duty with me. She keeps me in line, and I am so thankful for that. All the things that she has learned as I have stretched her and taken her out of her comfort zone. Thank you, Ruth Ellen, for being with.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that. And Marilyn also, and the new technology that she's learning and using her skills that she has from her past careers and life in making sure that the information is being shared in the chat. So she's doing a fabulous job with that and helping let people in. I just greatly appreciate my team, even the ones that aren't here. I know that there's a couple of them that are doing some marketing for us without being here in the show, but it takes a team, folks. And if you have any skills that you would like to utilize to help promote wellness, not sick management, but promote wellness, promote healthier living, promote being able to build an additional stream of income, helping others. There is nothing wrong with being thanked for helping others and sharing information with them about things that they can do to be empowered and take their health back, take their life back, even financially. So we just want to make sure that you know that there are opportunities available. Get back with the person that shared this program with you, or use our website, contact us, and we'll be able to get you in contact with a certified holistic health coach to help you figure out what it is exactly that you want to do for yourself or your community. We have a phone number with the call team standing by at 855-949-3377 for those who have never spoken to anybody about Dr. Wallach or the longevity products at all. And I do want to throw in, Dr. Wallach has many publications. And if you are interested in getting some of his books, make sure you go to drjwallach.com. He didn't mention it in the show, but I want to make sure that I mention it because that's how he makes his income. He has completely turned over the business of longevity to his son and his wife, and they're in control of that. He does not get a paycheck from longevity, and he did that on purpose. He did not want people to say, well, you're only pushing these products because you make a buck off of them. And that is not true. He does not get a paycheck from longevity. So visit his website, drjwallach.com, and get a book. Start gaining knowledge. We even have some ebooks there, some digital books. For those of you who use CD players, there's CDs there as well that you can listen to previous messages that Dr. Wallach has made available that have been impactful, very impactful in the lives of others. And I'm working on putting those CDs into digital downloads as well. So thanks for listening to me ramble. My name is Becca Dukes, and on behalf of DailywithDoc.com, have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you next week, Monday through Wednesday next week, as we are going to take some personal time off, 12 to 12:50 Pacific time, here on DailywithDoc, zoom.com. Bye for now.
Happy Easter, everybody.